Hey, what's up, world? What's up? Keith Ponder here in Atlanta, Georgia. Just checking out a little YouTube. Saw this thing with Ice-T and with Soulja Boy. I watched both sides and I was disappointed in both. But after listening to both sides, I'm a bit more disappointed in Ice-T. I'm old school. I'm 55 years old. I came up with Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield, James Brown, cats like that had social conscience, and every time they made a record, they tried to affect people in a positive way. And I watched the change in music, and I dealt with it. And when hip hop came, um, took a while, but I got down with that. And I dug the Rakims and the Tupacs and the Dr. Dre's, and the Grandmaster Furious Five and those cats, and these new guys are doing their things, and I try to get with them. I try to understand what T.I. is talking about. I love Outkast. I'm here in Atlanta. I like them all. Um, I got a young daughter, 17. I got a son, 24, and they do the Soulja Boy. I just watched this video where these prisoners in the Philippines, where that's where the whole prison camp is. They do these line dances, and they do the Soulja Boy, and you got 1,000 guys doing it. So obviously it does have some positive effect. At the same time, I understand what Ice-T is talking about in terms of getting down in a studio and grinding with the paper and the pen. But I think that at the same time, Ice-T, you got to show these kids, what you're talking about. And like my man said, he's out of the projects and he's trying to feed his mom and feed his daughter and his little brother, or his sister and his little brother, whatnot. Maybe he didn't get the education that you and I think that he has. Maybe he's doing all that he knows, and maybe it's going to take some time for him to grow. To me, some of his music is silly, but it's not silly to everybody. And obviously he's doing something right. And even though I can't get with it, I think that it's dead wrong for anybody, Ice-T, me, or your age, to tell a young cat that to eat a dick, man. That's just that's incomprehensible, and that's worse than anything. That's almost unforgivable, because if he told you that, you want to do something to him. If somebody told my son or told my daughter that, I'm old school. I got a thing, and I keep it with me. Don't test the old player. But at the same time, I don't walk down the street looking for beef with young cats. They mad already, man. The world ain't shit. They mad already. I watch them all day. I watch them jobless and out of high school, and doing what they got to do. And I don't like what's happening. Whatnot. And it's easy to point the finger at them, man. But they're not the problem. We live in a real ill society today. And Ice-T, for all that you are, I challenge you, man. I challenge you, without provocation and without being insulting and without doing it the way you know you can do it. I promise you to humble yourself, man, and apologize to that little boy. That's dead wrong, bro. That's dead wrong. We need to stop talking to each other like that. That's dead wrong. Whether you like his music or not, Ice-T, I mean, you're a Hall of Famer, man. You're a legend. People will be talking about you 20 years from now. You got your place in history. But to do that like that, no matter how much you think his music is whack, man, tell nobody to eat your dick, man. You should have more class. I expect more out of you. I would expect something like that to come out of his mouth. Somebody's got to be the adult in this thing, man. I love y'all both, man. You guys go to www.current.com and check me out. We talk about political music, and we talk about the way music is today as opposed to the way it was 20, 30 years ago, when guys like Marvin Gaye and James Brown and the Chambers Brothers and all them guys were doing them things, and they were challenging the government, and they were challenging society. Stevie Wonder did a song called what's the song called? Oh my God, he did a song, man, called "You Haven't Done Nothing," and it won a Grammy, and it helped run Richard Nixon out of office. He wrote a song about the president, and after Watergate came out, the president's rating was so low, his popularity rating was so low, he had to leave. You know, you guys today, man, put your pens together, man, and write some stuff about the war, or about what George Bush is doing, man. Stop bragging on your chains and your money and stuff like that, man. All you're doing is setting yourself up to get robbed. Besides, that ain't what money's for. Black people, man, when we gonna start loving each other? We ain't the enemy. So let's stop treating each other like we're the enemies. I'm gone, man. My wife home. I gotta help her bringing the groceries. Bye.